Sorry, I was like, I completely forgot about this until like right before we started. So I'm a bit.
No, that's okay. Thank you for taking the time to even like type me.
Yeah, of course. Let me check that. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to make sure that the that Discord was actually notified since they went last time. Um, have you watched any of the interviews before?
No, I was added to the server because someone who was interested in Model G, I believe, sent me to it. And yeah, I'm still trying to learn about socionics kind of thing, just like the general gist. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. I was just making sure because I recycle questions a lot. First thing I have to usually ask: have you been diagnosed with, or do you suspect you have any mental conditions? Are you in a different mood than usual, or is there anything else a typist should know about your current state?
Um, I've been diagnosed with uh, GAD, but my um, therapist told me she did that because it gave me better insurance. So, okay, but I kind of partially the reason why I was like um slow to get into socionics was because like the original socionics site is really text heavy, and something that I actually have been diagnosed with is dyslexia. So that's
I
my whole
see.
rundown. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how that factors in yet, but I'll
Yeah,
keep
I
that in
don't think it
mind.
does anything other than me being really lazy to read.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. What do you look for in friendships? What do you typically talk about or do with your friends?
Um, so I kind of always say this, but my friends are like really weird in the way that they're just like they're really respected, but they're also just like socially very out there. Like most of my friends are just like, how do I even say this? Like very socially well known, but not for like always the right reasons. Like they've often been like called crazy because they've done some sort of thing. Like one of my friends used to be known as a stalker just because she memorized everybody's. A teacher gave her a list of everybody's middle names, and she memorized all of them and just would just call them by that. And so like she got like the she kind of just got the title of a stalker and then played along with it. Another one, he he was just kind of like really tech savvy, and he got expelled for stealing like a school tuition full of math books. But yeah, it's just like lots of things that are like they're kind of crazy, but it's not the reason why I like them. Like they intrigue me because they're a little crazy, but the reason why I like talk to them and what I talk to them about is mostly like things that I see like okay, basically since they're kind of like so out there and crazy, I know that they're not like what's it called? Shallow, or like they think more. They're not just like some sort of person who's very surface level, like, oh, these are the values of society and I follow them kind of thing. Like they'll give you perspective and you can give them perspective and you guys can communicate on a I guess deeper level about certain situations kind of thing and perspectives kind of yeah.
I see. Okay. Do you work or study? If so, where do you work or what do you study?
Well, right now I'm really focused on biochemistry or just like biology, just STEM in general. And so, um, yeah.
Okay. Um, how did you choose to go into that? Was it what you consciously wanted, or was it an accident, or was it by necessity, etc.?
So, okay, with With science, I found it interesting because it explained things on a very a molecular level, which like interested me, how we were like made of like particles, and basically our body's literally maintaining itself by like little actions, and like all these like little cool things about like just um I don't know if you know what intermolecular forces are, but yeah, like intermolecular forces of like um little molecules in general is like really interesting, how like it creates you basically. And so like everything is just made out of like little things, and that's really interesting for me, kind of like how it goes all together. And it was something that really interested me. And also like just in general, like I had a liking towards science because like from a young age I was like always told different perspectives of things, and it made me want to like go out of my way to like find like the answers to things basically. And so like science was like a way to do that, because it's like, testing, knowing like kind of empirically the measurements of everything. It's kind of like, an actual kind of answer to go out and like question things, test things, not always be sure of everything, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. What are your main hobbies or interests? What do you like about them?
Um, so if I'm not like looking into science or like looking into like uh whatever that, anatomy and all that stuff, I'm either, doing piano or doing cross country, or just like thinking about some sort of random thing. So with piano, I like it because you get to learn like again the little things of music and how it like creates a song, and you get to like affect it in a way that you can like create specific sounds, learn why it sounds so good, learn rhythm, like all that stuff is really interesting to me. And then for cross country, it was one kind of a way to like give myself more willpower, because that's an issue that I often ran into. And it was also just like, how do I put this? Like, I don't know, you finally like maintain your brain, like you actually like just like focus on one subject, and then it like taught me focus and like willpower, which is something like I need. And it also, yeah, and sometimes I'm just randomly thinking about like certain things, just like, yeah, that's kind of it.
Okay. Do you have any significant other or have you had one? If so, compare yourself with them. How are you different?
Yeah, I have a significant other. So he's what do you want me to like specifically compare? There's a lot, like not a lot of differences, but like what?
Um, I don't know if I have anything specific. If you
Okay.
don't know where to start at all, then we can skip it. But
Well, he's like again a lot. Most of my friends are a lot more like socially known than me. He's really socially known, but he's also just so yeah. A thing that I have with my partners is that they often are quite arrogant, and I'm not as arrogant. I'm actually really like scared of coming off like arrogant at all, and so like in our relationship, usually like my significant other as of currently can be kind of arrogant, but like he is able to like go up to people and like question the validity of like what they're saying, and that's something like I appreciate, even if he does it to me. But like um I usually do question like the validity of people's arguments, but I actually won't tell them because I just don't um I don't have the I guess balls to do so, and I don't see a point in doing so. And like he thinks similarly to me, but and he thinks similarly to me, and that's something like I appreciate. But he's able to like question things. He's able to bring new ideas, and he's able to talk to me about these ideas and in a logical like sense. And that's something like I appreciate, and I like to be around, kind of thing. Like I don't like just being around somebody who's like completely emotional all the time, and like So that's like a few things about him. It's not like something I can like put my hand on and be like that I like. But yeah, it's like somebody who I just like to build on topics, and learn about. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. In choosing romantic partners, what's a deal breaker for you, but not for most other people?
Okay. Well, oftentimes people are like, you have not, or people tell me that I don't have enough deal breakers, and that yeah. So let me think about that, because like something that's not a deal that's a deal breaker for me. Uh, I wouldn't say there's anything that like completely stands out. If I do find something, I'll let you know.
Okay, that works. How easy is it for you to feel relaxed? What do you do to relax?
It's not easy. It's no. It's it's like I often do relaxing things. Like this whole summer, I've been like doing relaxing things, like watching TV, just like laying down on the bed, doing all that stuff. But like, I'm not actually relaxed. Like, I'm thinking about like some sort of thing in the future, or some sort of like thing I haven't done. And so it's like, I'm not actually relaxed, and it's very hard for me to like just sit down and relax, kind of thing, even though I'm actually doing the relaxing act. So yeah, it's kind of difficult for me to relax. Yeah.
Okay. How physically active are you, and why?
Um. Well, I said I do cross country, but I haven't done it in a while, mostly because of quarantine, and I'm a little bit lazy. But I guess I would say I'm kind of physically active. And why? Because it kind of ties back to the like being not kind of being healthy, learning how to focus, willpower, all that stuff.
Okay. What do you think that you're best at? When you receive compliments or praise, what are they about?
Oh, um, yeah, I kind of mentioned this earlier, where I don't like to like lift myself up. Um, I guess I could just talk about like what people compliment me about. Oh God. So like I don't know. There's so many contradictions, kind of thing. Like someone will say like, "Oh, you're so loyal," and then another person will say she's not trustworthy. But technically, I'm just loyal to the people who deserve my loyalty, kind of thing. And so like I don't know. I guess I would say that I'm friendly, and I am kind of. My friends have all told me I kind of, not all of them, but some of them have like told me that and my family have told me that I like think in a different way. And I don't know how to really take that, but I guess like I'm, my dad says I'm analytical, but I don't believe that. So it's like a
Why
lot of
not?
things. Um, okay, so like I guess with analysis, when I'm like thinking about it, like sure I can see like the connotations of certain things, and I'll be able to like question everything, but like in comparison to like my peers, I think I'm pretty average, and I wouldn't say like I'm analytical to the point where it should be complimented upon.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
If
But
that's
I
all
don't,
that.
yeah,
Oh,
I
go on.
don't know what
Okay.
to really say about my, what's it called? Gifts or whatever.
Okay. No, that's all right. How strong are your emotions? When your mood changes, is it for an observable reason or is it seemingly random?
Oh, they're all for like observable reasons. Like every emotion that I like feel is based off of something in either in the past or that's going to happen in the future kind of thing, but it's not, like I don't know if anybody's emotions would be just seemingly random kind of thing.
I'd say that mine
So,
are.
really? Okay. Hmm. I don't, I don't know. I would just say like I guess I notice things and I know what I know what's important for me, and if that important thing is going wrong, then I will start getting emotional. And they don't, they kind of control me in the way that I'm like, not constantly, yeah, kind of constantly looking for something wrong, which sounds really bad, but like, yeah, it's like kind of always constantly like thinking like, oh, what is this going to connote this? And if that happens, then I just want to get out because I don't want to get hurt kind of thing. So I guess I would say like my emotions do control me, but I've observed them enough to be able to buffer, kind of like buffer the pain kind of thing. Like, yeah.
Okay. Does anything affect your mood more than it would for most people?
Um, I've been told I'm reactive, but I wouldn't really. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Basically, I'm again always looking for like, oh, is this gonna go wrong, is that gonna go wrong kind of thing, and is this is gonna happen in the future kind of thing. And so like when I'm like looking for it, like most people are like, what are you talking about, like I don't understand where you're I don't understand how you predicted this. And then I end up being right anyways, but um they're like, what are you talking about kind of thing. So like I feel like if they actually knew, then of course they would be reactive, kind of as reactive as me, or go through some sort of thing as me. But yeah, that's kind of, yeah.
Okay. Do you often keep things clean, and is this important to you? How strictly do you organize your possessions and living space, and is this important to you?
No, I don't keep things clean, like at all. I like, okay, with organization I do kind of organize, but it's like everything's at its place and it looks really messy, but you can figure out like where everything is, and you already have it already has its placement. And so like, my family thinks my room is like completely messy and it's like a huge huge mess, but like I understand it and I can like go through it and like find my stuff, and I don't need anyone going through my stuff. But kind of like I don't really like maintain like a lot of cleanliness. Like I actually kind of wanted to live in an apartment. Like people are like, "What's your dream house?" And I'm like, I actually kind of want to live in an apartment, mostly because like in an apartment it's a smaller space, so you're less likely to lose stuff, and you're probably less likely to do more maintenance. And so like things like that, like less likely to clean, less likely to do maintenance, and like all that stuff kind of thing, like adding together, I just would rather like have like a smaller space to maintain, even though I probably am shit at maintaining it, because then like, you only have one sink, so you won't move to the next sink. And that's kind of like what I kind of want to do with laundry too. Like, I don't want to get a cabinet that's kind of like, I know I sound weird, but it's a little too much, and I can just like wear a week, not a week, but like 2 weeks worth of clothes and just put it in a basket. Like, there's other ways to like go about things than having to like make it look all pretty, I guess.
Okay. At this point, I am definitely down to two types, but I'm pretty evenly split between them. How do you behave in unfamiliar company? Do you immediately enter into a conversation, look around for a while, wait until someone approaches you, etc.?
I look around for a while and then wait for someone to approach me and and converse, kind of thing.
Okay. Um, in conversations with other people, are you often trying to make an impression upon them? Like, or to, I guess that's a bad way of phrasing it. Um, are you trying to leave a strong impression, maybe at some point, sometimes to the point of appearing shocking?
I wouldn't say that I like purposely leave an impression. Sometimes like I just accidentally like leave an impression because I do want to do something kind of crazy, and then
Okay.
yeah, I'm not like purposely trying to like impress anybody. It's more like I want to go crazy and I don't care if you think. Yeah, basically. So, I don't like let others I don't let like I guess I do like kind of care about what people think, but if like, if it's like me making an impression, it's usually me doing something that I just did out of my own volition. Just like, and then they think I'm kind of crazy for like doing that, but I'm just like, I just did it, kind of thing. Like, I guess I could refer back to this one time. So this is a really strange story, and it like does not make any sense at all. I was just completely bored, and so like in chemistry class, I have some friends in there. Not most of my friends, but like because I'm in robotics, most of my friends are like male, and so okay, um, and they're all in chemistry class. So like one time I heard this other guy say like, "Oh, a girl digging her nails into my back is really hot." And I obviously knew the context of the situation, but I was like, what if like digging my nails into some guy's back without doing the other stuff is still kind of like hot? And so like I bring these guys up or like I come up to my guy friends and I'm like, "Hey, can I try something?" And like they're like, "What?" And so I just like do it and I'm like I just dig my nails into their back. It's like, "How did that feel?" And then they're like, and they give me like really strange responses and stuff. And so like, it's not like I'm trying to make an impression on them. I definitely did not tell them why I did it. I only told my female friends, but it's not like I'm trying to make an impression on them, but I kind of just make I make an impression anyways, accidentally.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. What were you like as a... Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh no, I was just saying hopefully none of them are watching Socionics and seeing this. Okay, anyways.
Yeah, I'm sure those like random unrelated people are watching this video right now on this YouTube channel of 20 subscribers. What were you like as a kid? Did any moments or aspects of your personality at the time stand out to you?
Okay, so I think this is maybe where maybe like dyslexia would kind of come to play. Because I was very unaware as a kid. Kind of like I did not listen to directions at all. I did not understand them, and I was kind of like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll just do my own thing," kind of way. And so like I was very unobservant, And so, like, as a kid, I was not listening to directions. I was not doing anything. People thought I had ADHD because I just did not want to read and did not want to do anything and focus my attention. And so, like, as a kid, I was very, I was kind of like outcasty and like also just like weird thinking and not aware of like social norms kind of thing. Like, I was kind of aware, but I thought it was like, who told me this? What is this like thing? Why do I have to like talk to people? Not talk to people, but what do I talk to people about? It was kind of just like, I was very weird, I guess.
Okay. What are your plans for the next, I don't know, 5 to 10 years?
These are not like set in stone, but first I'm probably gonna head to college and I'm gonna like learn there, work hard, stuff like that, and then after that I want to do maybe a dual PhD MD program. Maybe I'm gonna only do MD, but I would like to go into research kind of thing. And so like that's kind of like my whole plan. Most of my plans don't involve other people, just because I think that's kind of like that's kind of asking for like trouble because you don't have any control over it. So like whenever I think about my plans, I think like, oh, doing this, you can do this, you work hard, and then you go to this school, it's all you kind of thing. Because if I like say, oh, in the next 5 years I want to get a boyfriend, that's not really in my control, and that's kind of sad kind of thing. So like things like that I just don't put into my control. I only put what I guess what I can control into my control, so it's like my fault when I fail.
Okay. Does your sense of morality ever deviate from what is normally accepted as moral? If so, how?
Okay, I don't know how to answer this question kind of thing, because my sense of morality is probably deviated like a few times, just because it's hard to explain. So like not all of society's values are values that I support, even though like your situation kind of makes you who you are a little bit. But like for me, it was kind of like sometimes I see certain things, like people freaking out about like a certain situation because like, oh, that was racist, or oh, that was this. Like I understand it a little, but sometimes it gets a little minorly excessive. Like I guess referring back to a situation, you can probably tell I'm Asian. Anyway, so like when Corona first started out, people were like, or certain Asians were wearing a mask, and people would avoid those Asians because they thought they had Corona. And then some Asians out there were like, oh my God, the only virus out there is your racism. And I was like, no. First off, like, there's an actual virus out there. And second off, like, if Corona originated in Italy and some white guy came up to me with a mask, I probably would have ran away from him too. So I don't think it was like some sort of like racism thing. Like maybe it was like slight profiling, but it was not profiling because of your race kind of thing. And so like I find like people who go out there and are like, oh, you hurt me this way, you hurt me that way kind of thing. Sometimes it can be excessive. And when people are like right now with the Black Lives Matter thing and like all that stuff, like, yes, I care about Black lives. I care about, getting over racism, all that stuff. But like, posting Black squares on Instagram, always posting something, like always being like, we need to fight for this cause. It starts to get me to wonder, like, are you really fighting for the cause, or is this some sort of self-righteous thing you're doing? So like, Yeah, I guess those are some of the things that I like deviate away from. I kind of like, I guess, look at things and like try to gauge on my own kind of thing before I like follow society's morals. That's kind of like something I do. I enjoy questioning things and like making my own opinion of it kind of thing.
Okay. I don't know if I asked this. If the whole world has united under a single world government and is ruled autocratically, that ruler is you. What's your plan?
Ruled what?
Ruled autocratically. You are an autocrat. You have absolute power.
Uh, uh, no, okay. Oh, that would fail so miserably. I don't even know how to like control people and like get a government that kind of works. Like, you know, obviously I would like refer back to my past kind of thing and be like, okay, maybe like democracy is a good idea kind of thing. But like even then it's just like there's so many issues. Politics is just I I wouldn't know how to control it kind of thing. So I I would okay, I thought about this and I thought I think it's kind of stupid, but like people often fall into this tendency where they like do the same thing over and over and over again and they don't enjoy their job at all kind of thing, or they kind of don't enjoy their job at all, and like they're just kind of like feeding into a system. And so like something like I thought about, which is probably really idiotic and not something that should be implemented, is like having having people do like specific jobs for like specific weeks, like depending on this like on the job, like you know you can do like be a doctor, do this, do that kind of thing. Like obviously if it's a long-term project, don't do that, but like the the diversity of it would probably help people, especially with like I guess the what's it called, the depression of like repeating a system kind of thing. And so like that's
Yeah.
what I thought about, but I thought it probably would not work. And so those are like I like throw ideas at a situation, but I like don't know how to control a government. I don't know how to control people. I would freak out. Like yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. One. Sorry, 1 second.
That's okay.
How good are you in like arguments or debates?
Well, okay, it's like again, like I can beat my mom and my dad and my sister in like debates all the time, but like, you know, with like an actual person that I'm debating with that's like really actually good at it, I'm not like that amazing. It's more like I just like okay, in arguments, oftentimes people are like, "Oh, you don't listen to points or you're just screaming at each other" kind of thing. like when I do have an argument with somebody, what I've taken or what I've like learned to do is basically just listen to their points and then rebuttal each one of them. And so like that was something that like I learned to do just based off of observation. And then I would ask them what I said. I would ask them to repeat back to me what I said to them so that they could address it, kind of thing. So it's kind of like I learned how to do this, and then I talked to a debater or somebody who's like really good in debate, and she was like, "No, that's really good. You took it point by point. That's what we should be. That's what we do, and like that's what I tell people to do." So like, I have good qualities of a debater, but I'm not. I don't do enough research to be a debater, and I'm not like ballsy enough to like do it all the time and win arguments, kind of thing. So yeah.
Okay. Do you think when you're doing that, you're better at the logical, detail-oriented side or the emotional side? Sort of the actually being right side or the winning over the audience?
Yeah, oftentimes I think I'll kind of like, I don't really win over an audience because I don't have an audience in the first place. Most people think I'm like kind of like
if there were an audience. And
there
like
are certain
minus the like I don't know the fact that you'd be anxious because there's an audience. Just don't ignore that aspect if that's relevant.
So honestly, I probably like I need to work on my logic, kind of thing. I would agree with that. Like I would probably need to work a little bit more on my logic and like being actually right, even though like I probably have a point to say. It's like I won't go up to somebody and argue with them unless I have a point to say and I know I'm right. And so like I would say like if somebody was to argue, like there was actually an online argument on Discord earlier. Like at some point, like I was pointing out everything he was doing wrong, and then I was like, at this point, like he was not going to change, and then I was like, you know what? I don't think this is really worth my time, kind of thing. Like sometimes I like twist the argument to say like this is not worth both of our time, kind of thing, or like like something like that. Like your opinion's not going to change, my opinion's not going to change, and I would rather just watch you fail and do less work. And so like it's like I don't go out of my way to make an argument unless I know I'm right, which basically is everyone. And so I guess there is a social aspect of it where I'm not gonna make arguments for argument's sake just because like there's some sort of issue there, and it's like it's kind of stupid to do so if you don't know the whole logical reasoning behind them, and then you're just gonna like point it out, kind of thing. So I guess that's where I stand.
Okay. I can say for sure that you are of the dialectical cognitive style, and I can also say that you're probably intuitive.
Cognitive style?
The dialectical algorithmic cognitive style, which includes the types SiF, FEN, NIT, and TES.
Okay.
And because I think you're intuitive, I think that limits it to FEN and NIT. I can ask some things to distinguish between those, but before that, do you have any thoughts on that?
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know Model G well enough to like say anything, but this is like actually weirdly the first typing where I have not been typed like in any DOM, and so like I was like, oh, okay, interesting. So I guess I was kind of wondering why NI.
Something I've realized recently is the focus on anxiety or a negative prognosis for a situation, or yeah, sort of envisioning a situation and thinking, no, I don't want that. That is an I minus.
Huh.
Um, and I noticed that a lot in your speech.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, that
in
makes
fact,
sense.
in fact, I know that you said that the diagnosis before was not legitimate, but these types are the most anxious overall.
Okay. I mean, she said it was not legitimate, but there could be some truth to it anyways. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I'm trying to figure out how to distinguish. I'm overall leaning somewhat to NIT, but I've seen some evidence the other way. Um, how high would you say your energy level is? I sort of asked something like that, but just in a more general sense.
Um. Mm, my energy level in like in
And how
I'm
much
trying to
does
think
it
of.
vary?
Oh, my energy level. I guess I'll get like sparks of energy, and I'll seem like energetic, but most of the time it's kind of like up and down kind of thing. So it's not like I am I can get energetic, but I'm often not really that energetic. I'll
Hmm.
just do it like, I guess, humor wise with like social groups. I can almost like trick myself to become energetic kind of thing, just for like I'll laugh at something that's not even actually funny, but like I actually am able to like trick myself into laughing at the
So you
situation.
think
So
that
like
if
yeah,
you
so
think that if you don't use methods like literal external methods um to give yourself energy, you're almost like naturally lazy or lethargic.
yeah.
Okay, that's helpful. Um, I think that you're probably in IT then. I was trying to distinguish temperament, and that sounds more indicative of the receptive adaptive temperament, which is low energy overall, but variable. So it's almost like periodic variations between moderate energy and none whatsoever.
Yeah. What what is like I guess FEN like then? I was just
They are the
curious.
linear assertive temperament, which is, I guess, like constant, moderate to high energy.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think that sounded like you.
Well, I guess I mean this is kind of shocking to be like type to gamma, but I don't know if I think you know what gamma means, but yeah.
Yes, of course. When I realized it was also shocking at first. And if it helps at all, it doesn't really. The quadrant doesn't tend to come out in as explicit of a way as you might think. Um, it's just more. It's like the social environment that you're most naturally likely to feel fulfilled in.
Mm.
And I think you have the I guess I think that you probably have a natural disposition that allows you to get by in a sort of opportunistic, mercantile, capitalistic society, just because you know how to take advantage of the opportunities within it and make a good spot for yourself. At least to a
Okay.
certain, yeah. Um, Even though there is the problem of again the low energy temperament sort of preventing that because you don't have the energy to act on these things. but there is the chance that you are SIF. I just see some things against that.
What things did you see for SIF, and which ones did you like not see?
The people, well, I mean, what you just said, just finding that a little bit hard to connect to yourself. But on the other hand, um, naturally, intuitives tend to associate with other intuitives, and I kind of saw that tendency within you somewhat. Just by what you described. Whereas even though a sensor will dualize with an intuitive, they'll tend to gravitate to other sensors. I think that it is safe to say though that you're one of those two types.
Cool.
I haven't had someone down to two superego types before. That's a very weird
Really?
set of possibilities, since they're in completely different clubs
Yeah, like
and in opposite quadras.
that is kind of crazy. Like I heard, yeah, I heard like NITEs like kind of FE blind, and like SIFEs like kind of TE blind. So it's like, huh,
In a sense.
you,
Um,
do you do that, or is it more like, I don't know. I'm a little like, I'm thinking about this right now. It's
well,
shocking. Yeah.
I guess what they're most blind to is their vulnerable function in the opposite sign of the one that they normally use. So within NIT, they'll find it very difficult to use FE plus, which is a simple, natural, impulsive expression of emotions, as opposed to like artificial, crafted. Whereas with the SIF, they'll find it difficult to use TE plus, which is which is finding pragmatic opportunities and then taking advantage of them.
Okay. I never saw myself as like taking like advantage of pragmatic opportunities. Although if I'm like thinking about it, like I don't know what like raw expression is kind of thing. Like I can't like, I think about situations before I tell people about what it is. So my expression is basically just telling them my whole thought process and being like, this is why I'm worried. Help me kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know.
I guess if you were NIT, you might be able to like remember or envision situations in which you were in some heavily emotional atmosphere and you felt uncomfortable and out of place and you didn't know how to act.
I guess.
That doesn't sound.
I don't know. I guess you can like kind of relate that back to me and like freaking me and getting irritated at like the movements and all that stuff. But like other than that, like in a group of people.
Do you have a tendency to nostalgia?
Nostalgia what?
Do you have a tendency to nostalgia or no?
Tendency in what way? Like, searching for it all the time, or like
not necessarily searching for it, but I guess experiencing that feeling and following it often.
Experiencing a feeling and following what?
Experiencing the feeling of nostalgia for something, especially like maybe some sort of like media or art form, and then following it. I guess this is a somewhat worse question to ask if for those who are younger, and it applies more to. But I'm still curious to hear your answer.
I have experienced nostalgia before through like certain situations with like friends where there'll be this one situation I feel about something and then I'll feel the nostalgia in a certain song kind of thing, or I'll feel like nostalgia in like certain situations, but it's not like something that like I guess happens all the time unless I'm like really focusing on that situation.
Okay. What do you tend to do with your time in general? Like, how is your time filled?
Um, my time is filled.
If that's a question you're able to answer.
Honestly, I'm literally this summer I've just been doing nothing, so yeah, another question I guess.
Okay. I was hoping to get a lot of information from that, so let me think.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
I guess maybe thinking back to like the feeling, like an expression thing, I can make myself laugh in situations and make situations more funny for myself. But I can be like, I guess, react react to a situation kind of thing. Like while you were looking at your Word document or whatever you're looking at, I thought about how I was going to tell my friend who invited me here that I might almost be typed in NIT, and I thought about how like he was gonna be like no, and so like then I started laughing, but like I guess I can be like expressive laughing in the moment. It's not like totally away from me. So that's
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to like have a stone cold face in all situations all the time. Um, I don't think I think you have problems beyond type if that's how you are. Um,
true.
Let me see something. This actually might be helpful. I'm like just skimming through a book or something, but I don't know what it is. I think
Hmm.
how aware are you of your um, physiological state?
Physiological state meaning like my body problems, like leg pains or whatever kind of thing,
Or
or
even just like hunger or something like that.
kind of aware,
Hmm.
average. I think okay, this is kind of embarrassing, but when I was younger, there was a time where I had bladder issues, I would hold. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. I would hold it way too long before I like started screaming, "I need to go to the bathroom," which is I was like kindergarten, not even kindergarten. It was definitely longer than it should have been, kind of thing, like kindergarten, first grade, second grade kind of thing. Like I should not be having these issues at this age, but I guess like I do have those issues, but now I'm a little bit more observant of my body.
I
I
just
guess.
think it's funny that you're saying this live on YouTube.
Yeah, you did say you had 26 subscribers, so hopefully,
Yeah,
yeah.
for now. Um, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the possibility that you might be NIF or SIT, as in a vertical synergetic type. But firstly, I don't think that's likely in and of itself, and also neither of them seem to fit you well. So we're in kind of a weird situation here. I guess we could either keep going and try to distinguish now, or we could very tentatively go with SIF and do a follow-up at some point in the future. But that's up to you.
Um. Uh. Okay. Let's think about this. When would the follow up in the future be?
Oh, that's up to you. I hope, like, ideally, in like a few days from now, but it could be whenever.
Okay.
Just so I have
Yeah.
some time to like subconsciously
Yeah.
consider the problem.
Yeah. We could do like a follow up, so you like come up with more questions, kind of thing, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, well,
Um.
thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Also, okay, before the session ends, I was curious what SI was in this system, I guess.
It encapsulates a few different things, but how it tends to manifest practically is a focus on the physical qualities of objects, and especially how aesthetically pleasing they are, which kind of leads to a gravitation to sensory pleasures among people with higher SI, and also it leads to a tendency to a comfortable, balanced, and stable life among those with high SI, especially those who have it in their social mission, which is the SIF, the TIS, the FIS, and the SIT.
Okay. That makes some sense. I mean, I'm not very aesthetically pleasing. I'm not like, aesthetically pleasing, but like, I guess, the social kind of thing made a lot of sense for me.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll consider that. Is there anything else you were wanting to know?
I think we can probably like meet up in like maybe 3 days or a week and just
Okay.
like see how it goes. Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
let's do that. Yeah, of course.
I don't know how to. Oh, I just press the leave button, right? Or
Yeah.
all right.
I don't know. Bye.